Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Now, you find me today in a country I've never been to before. This is Slovenia, which is kind of, if you're looking at a map, it's just kind of on the right of Italy, across the Adriatic coast. It borders with various countries, Austria and Italy to the north, and Croatia to the south. So it's in quite an interesting part of Europe, as I say, part I've not been to before. And I'm here with my friends from Canary Motorcycle Tours, who are starting off a new touring business based here out of Slovenia. It's a mountainous country, it's forested, and as I say, it's got the coast of the Adriatic and some amazing scenery around here and great roads to explore by motorcycle. I'm here for the next couple of days to do that, so stick around, stay tuned, and I'll show you what Slovenia's got to offer by motorcycle. So Slovenia then, it pains me to say I really didn't know too much about this country until I knew that I was coming here. So I've been looking at the maps and trying to get my head around exactly what Slovenia is all about, but there's no need to worry about that because in the next couple of days I'm going to be led by Martin, who you've met before if you've been watching my videos from Canary Motorcycle Tours. He's been doing some scouting around this area for setting up some tours for next year, which you'll be able to go on yourself if you want to. And anyway, we're going to do a little bit of recce of those over the next few days. So stick around, stay tuned for me. The next tour is going to be here in Slovenia. So good morning folks and welcome to day one of the tour. I thought it might just be worth showing you the hotel room that I'm staying in. Here we are, this is the hotel that we're based at. Fairly basic room, but comfortable enough beds and a really great shower. Actually, I'll just show you that, just out of interest. There you go. Again, quite basic looking, but really, really powerful shower. Anyway, in terms of where we are, we're based in a town or village called Brestanica, which is in the east of the country. We'll show on the map here. This is, so this bit on the side here is Italy, this is the Adriatic, and then Slovenia itself is just at the top here, and it's this sort of shape. Ljubljana is the capital, and we at the moment are just down here. Zagreb in Croatia, which is where we flew into, is about here, and we're, as I say, here at a place called Brestanica. Okay, and I think we're going to be heading up to the north, but we'll have a little chat to Martin later on about that, and I'll let you know once we're on the bike. All right, so I'm not entirely sure what the plan is. I'll have a chat to Martin, and I'll fill you in on the details of the day when we're on the bike. Right, so good morning. Here we are. Here are the bikes. I'll have a chat. These are the chaps, actually, we're going to be riding with. Hello, chaps. Excuse me. So this is Martin. You might remember him from the Canary Motorcycle Tours that we did before. This is Momo, our host. He is the chef and looks after the hotel here. And this is David, who's an expert rider on the Africa Twin over there. So we'll have a look at the bikes a bit later. But Martin, where are we going today then? So I come round and have a look at the map. Bang, I'll come round.
You come round here. TMF.
Rightio, what have we got then?
Right, so here we are. This is where we're based in Brestanica. Where's my glasses? I haven't got my glasses. Right, so
there we are. There.
No, we are here in Brestanica.
There we are. There we are.
Castle Reichenburg.
Yeah, got it.
yeah. So we're working our way up through to Pichu,
Right.
which is one of the oldest towns in the country.
So that's P-T-U-J. You pronounce it.
Pichu.
And how do you?
Ptuj, I having fun about pronunciation, but the original is Ptuj, Slovenian Ptuj.
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 The oldest
I'll go with
city in
Ptuj.
Slovenia.
Okay, right.
Ptuj. And then we'll work our way after Pichu up to Maribor, where there's, we're going to go to the ski resorts.
Lovely.
Where there's a nice little chairlift and a toboggan.
Brilliant.
But we've got to...
We should have brought my ski kit now. I assume there may not be that much skiing in August.
Actually,
however.
there's some snow machines there that create snow. So
We'll turn those on then. Right.
If you tell them you're
Plus
coming...
30, plus 32, a little bit too much.
Oh, if you tell TMS coming, they'll turn them on special.
Although it may look sort of dull here in the mountains today, these are burn off soon. It's already probably about 25 degrees centigrade, something like that, maybe more.
And 100% humidity today.
Exactly. And it's forecast to be about 34, isn't it? So it's going to be a warm one. Anyway, back to the route. Yep.
Yeah, so after we've had a bit of fun on the toboggan, we're going to work our way into Austria.
Yep.
On this beautiful road here to
Right, I brought my passport.
yeah, good. To a lake, Sabbath Lake.
Yep.
We'll have some lunch.
Perfect.
And then back again along through the forest and straight down back into Slovenia.
Perfect.
Working our way through these other nice little towns with the castles.
Sounds bloody marvellous. Yeah, great stuff. All right, so how far do you reckon that is and how long is it going to take us?
It'll be about 300 miles today.
Wow, big day.
500 kilometres.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I'm going to be on this beast, the big old
You are.
1200cc
Yes, it's like a gazelle.
cross tourer. Yeah, so we'll talk more about that when I'm riding. Brill. Right, shall we mount up then?
I think we should.
Let's crack on. Right, so we're off. I'm on the mighty Honda VFR 1200 cross tourer, which I'm sure more later. First time I've ever ridden one of these bikes, actually. Feels lovely. It's physically pretty massive. It reminds me a bit of the GS to ride. It's got a lovely V4 engine, of course. It's going to be interesting to see how I get on with it over the next few days. Right, so we're leaving Brestanica, which is where the hotel is. And you met the guys there, a very friendly bunch here. Momo's the, not only is he the chef, but he's also the sort of proprietor of the hotel, so he's our host as well. I got here yesterday, as I mentioned. We flew into, or I flew into Zagreb airport, which was about a 40-minute drive. The guys picked me up there. And what struck me actually, having not been over to this or to this country before, it's just how amazing the infrastructure was. I mean, in fact, Zagreb, of course, is in Croatia, and the airport there's all brand new. The road system is lovely and new. It really puts us to shame in the UK when you come to these countries and see how it can be done. But yeah, really looking forward to today. We've got quite a long day planned, as you saw from the map. Between 200 and 300 miles likely, which is a lot further than we normally do on the tours with Martin in the Canary Islands, because the roads, of course, are slightly different in the Canaries. It's all hairpins all the time, a bit more sweepy here, I understand. But obviously we're in the still in the countryside here. But Slovenia itself, very much a mountainous country and very forested, very sparsely populated. I did a little bit of research before I came out, and population is something like 2 million people. So pretty small country really. In terms of area, it looks about the same size as East Anglia in the UK, or maybe a bit smaller than Wales, something like that. So it's a place that in a few days you can pretty much cover it all. And there is a huge variety of riding, according to Martin, out here, from the sort of forested mountain stuff in the centre where we are at the moment, through to Alpine to the north. Oh wow, look at that, absolutely stunning. Oh, it smells beautiful out here. Amazing reflections, nice and early. It's about 8:30 when we've set off. It smells beautiful out here. Anyway, yeah, so Alpine regions in the north, central forested mountainous areas, and then of course you've got the almost Mediterranean-like Adriatic coast out to the west. So something for everyone, I think. And a beautiful climate as well. So behind me I've got David on the Africa Twin. I called him David just now, in fact his name's Peter. I'm terrible with names, I do apologise Pete, and I'm sure I'll keep calling you David throughout the day. Once I've got in my mind that somebody's called something, it's very hard to lose it, so I do apologise, that's so rude of me. And then Momo behind on the BMW, I think it's the F800. And then Martin up front doing the leading on his Suzuki V-Strom, the 650. Oh, and already this misty stuff is starting to burn off as the sun comes out. It's going to be a cracking day. According to the BBC weather forecast, I don't know how reliable that is for around here, but it was saying it's going to be 34 degrees centigrade today. So I've got very light riding gear on. Wow, look at these views already. I'm trying to resist it, but I can't help it. Look at that. Oh, let's not get too carried away with the views, otherwise we might not make the corners. Right, I'm going to concentrate on the ride and get used to the bike, and I'll speak to you shortly. Oh man, this really is beautiful out here. Martin's been out here now for a couple of months. He's just been saying he's been blown away by how beautiful the country is. And already, having only ridden, you know, a couple of miles, it's gorgeous. It certainly couldn't be any different to the Canaries where I've ridden with Martin before. So just to give you a bit of background about CM Tours Slovenia. It's a joint venture that Martin and Joy, who run Canary Motorcycle Tours, have entered into with Momo and the hotel here. We're basically in the really hot summer months. They're offering, or going to be offering in 2020, these tours through Slovenia. It's just somewhere different to come on a bike. And as is usual with these sorts of tour companies, they make it very easy for you. Pick you up from the airport, provide you with the bike. They sort out a hotel for you, which of course is Momo's place. And it's on a bed, breakfast and evening meal basis, so all that's sorted for you. You get the bike, you get Martin and the tour, you get petrol provided. And although I can't give you all the details of the pricing yet, the website's being built at the moment, I'll put a link below this video. for a week. It's something like £1,200. I mean, that's an absolute bargain for coming somewhere completely different on your bike. Now, I'm lucky enough to have been to quite a lot of different European countries. I haven't been to that many former Eastern Bloc countries. I've been to Russia, and I've done Bulgaria and the Czech Republic, but that's pretty much it. Well, and Eastern Germany, of course, or former Eastern Germany. And so it's really nice to come to Slovenia, which is of course part of the former Yugoslav Republic, which was a sort of socialist republic, sort of Eastern Bloc country back in the Cold War days. But what surprises me about it, as I mentioned, it was the same in Croatia when we came up from the airport. It's just how terribly civilised it is. Everything's so clean, organised. It's just doesn't fit that sort of stereotypical image I had of these sorts of countries being slightly, not backward, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. As I say, Martin's been out here for a couple of months doing recces with the guys to build up the tours that he's going to offer next year, and they very kindly asked me out here to have a look, see what I thought. So this is sort of another recce ride actually for the guys. So it's not exactly the sort of tour that you do. We're effectively packing in today 2 days worth of riding. I think the intention normally is on the tours would be to ride up into Austria and the Austrian Alps and then stay over for a night there. But we're going to be going up into Austria today, as you heard, and then back again this evening, back to the hotel. So if 250, 300 miles sounds like a long day to you, as it does to me, don't panic. That's not necessarily what you would do if you came on this tour, unless of course you want to. And also, I quite like personally the relaxed pace that Martin runs his tours at. It's not one of these companies that goes herring around everywhere. You do get a chance to stop, take in the views, take photographs, have pretty frequent breaks, that sort of thing, which works for me. What a green and verdant land this is. Road surfaces here are a little bit variable, it has to be said. Lovely roads, but the surface is terrible. I don't know if you can see on the GoPro, but this big old cross tour is soaking up all the bumps. The suspension's nice and soft on here. Koprivnica. I apologise for any Slovenian viewers for my pronunciation over the next few days of this tour, because so far pretty much every word I've attempted to say I've got wrong, so I'm sure that will continue. Sorry about that. Now, I did try to learn a couple of Slovenian words from Momo yesterday. The basics like hello, please, thank you, that sort of thing. A beer, please. And I've already forgotten what he told me, so I'm absolutely useless on that score. The good news for the British tourist is that it seems everybody speaks English here, which again is to the eternal embarrassment of the United Kingdom that everybody else seems to speak our language. But it is kind of handy if you're a tourist here, it has to be said. You'll have absolutely no issue speaking with the locals here. Well, it's starting to warm up now. 24 degrees is the temperature at the moment, centigrade, which I know my Australian viewers will always say that's not hot, but it's a real treat for somebody coming from the UK to ride at these sort of temperatures. Absolutely perfect at the moment, but it's still only about 9 o'clock in the morning, so I sense it's going to get very, very hot indeed. Just check out these views still. Absolutely cracking. What a green and verdant country this is. I guess that's because of the altitude and it being so mountainous, because in terms of its latitude and position in Europe, its climate is, you know, can be described as sort of Mediterranean. But again, doing my research when I knew I was coming out here, it sounds like the climate does vary, even though it's such a small country. It varies from, of course, these mountainous regions where it can be a little bit colder high up, to proper Mediterranean hot temperatures down at I call it Mediterranean, but of course we're on the Adriatic here, but people seem to you know what I mean when I say Mediterranean climate. Anyway, so something for everyone in terms of the temperatures here. Perfect motorcycling type temperatures. And what an absolute treat to get another country in the bag. It's a real bonus, this. It seems to me, since the former Yugoslavia countries kind of broke up and became their own independent states. The one that gets all the plaudits seems to be Croatia, isn't it? That's the one that everybody talks about going on holiday to and enjoying the beaches and what have you. And no one seems to mention Slovenia very much. Well, I'll tell you, just based on my initial impressions so far, you're missing out. It's an absolutely gorgeous place. Now, I'm recording this actually on a Saturday morning, so we're just thinking about the amount of traffic around here, i.e. very little. We've seen very, very few cars. I mean, there's one up ahead on the road, but very little coming the other way. There's certainly nothing that's been holding us back, so I guess due to that sparse population, sparse number of cars on the roads as well. Another welcome change from riding in Blighty. Cracking view down in that valley. I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro because it's a little bit distant, but the mist is still lurking in the valley down there and it looks absolutely stunning. If you're going to be heading in there, I suspect it's going to get a little bit cooler soon. I've already noticed such a wide variety of churches here. And that one again, look at the tower on that one. Very ornate and completely different to anything you'd see at home. It's one of those countries that seems to have an awful lot of churches. In terms of the religious bent here, I understand it's about a third of the population are Roman Catholic. And then there's a mix of other religions here, and about a third of the population don't have any religion at all, so which is fine with me. Not that I want to get into a religious discussion, but just to give you an idea of the sort of culture that we're in. Roman Catholic is the predominant religion here, although by the sounds of it, not a particularly religious country. Butte? I don't know, there's a little accent over the C. Does that make it a ch or a s sound? Maybe someone will tell me. So as we continue to wend our way north, it's just struck me how alpine this countryside is starting to look now. These little chalets here very much remind me of riding around the foothills of the Alps, which I suppose technically we are. Very much like a town you'd find in the French alpine regions or Switzerland, places like that. And again, I had no idea that Slovenia was like that, I'm ashamed to say. A beautiful roundabout. Some sort of market going on here, by the looks of it. Could it be a coffee stop? Could well be. Marvellous!
Shall we?
Yes, why not? Good idea. Right, this is my sort of tour. We're on the coffee stop already. We've been riding, what, less than an hour probably, Martin. I'm knocking your style.
We can't beat a good coffee
This is
stop,
good,
can we?
exactly.
Yeah.
Where are we going? We're right here? Yeah. Right, so coffee's come, and one of the things I've learned very quickly about Slovenia is you do very good coffee here. And the great news is, check out the pricing, look at that.
Happy
In case you
days.
read, €5.50 for what was that? 2 coffees, an orange juice and some water. Bargain, I'd say. What a winner. Anyway, behind us, as we rode in, I passed this like market thing. I just spin the camera around. That market thing, there's sort of wooden materials. What's going on there then, Mobo? What's that all about?
This is original from southeast part of Slovenia, and they produce wooden by hand.
Right.
We call it suha roba.
Sucharoba.
Suha roba is Slovenian word. That's dry stuff out of dry wood, special wood, and they sell on markets all around.
Perfect. That looks great, doesn't it? So it's one to get the tourists in, presumably.
Tourists, yeah. This is a touristic city.
So is your house full of, what did you call it? Sucharoba?
Suha roba.
Sucharoba. Remember that, Martin, wouldn't you? Sucha.
Just to go with
But it's like when you come to your grandpa or grandpa, they still use the wooden spoons to cook.
Yeah. Perfect.
Because it's the traditional, and it's very useful in the kitchen. Also, my wife
Should have brought the wife.
Have
Yeah,
some.
exactly. Notice I said that when she's not here. Well, cheers, chaps.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
See you, Matt.
Cheers.
Just up here, Andy, there's a load of thermal spas.
Oh, have you indulged?
Not yet.
And will you be?
Uh,
Because apparently it has sort of health-giving properties, doesn't it?
so long as there's no people hunting whales, I'll be fine.
I don't know what you mean. You're well, I can't possibly comment. Well, it was a splendid little break. Oh, look at that, some more bikes over there, look at that. So is that a Harley or some sort of Suzuki or? I'm not very good with cruisers. I really must sort that out. I don't mean the green one.